After the youngsters spur the Jazz in the third quarter, getting them a brand new lead, the shooting goes awry again in the fourth, and the Jazz fall to the Hornets to kick off the All-Star break, losing their fifth straight. We're talking about it next on POSTCAST.
You are Locked On Jazz, your daily podcast on the Utah Jazz. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Utah Jazz fall to the Charlotte Hornets 115-107. David Locke and Ron Boone with you here on POSTCAST. Jazz lose their fifth straight. Hornets win their fourth straight since the trade deadline. Two teams whose moves have had opposite impacts on their rosters. Hornets changed 5 of 9 rotation players and looked like a very different team than one we saw in Charlotte. But the Jazz had gained control of this game with a stirring third quarter led by Keyonte George and Taylor Hendricks to take a 90-85 lead heading to the fourth, and for only the second time all year, the Jazz lost a fourth quarter lead. They were 20-1 coming in tonight when leading going to the fourth quarter, and the Jazz get outscored 30-17. They shoot 5 of 18. They go 1 of 9 from 3. They only had 7 turnovers in the quarter and 5 field goals. Offensively, that was ugly.
Yeah, went cold, and you don't win very many ball games when you play like that, and you only score 17 points. I mean, your opponent has to be awfully bad, if you're going to score 17 points and go 5 for 18 from the field and still think you can win the basketball game.
So what was interesting about this game is all night long, Charlotte's shooting these threes, and you're just waiting for the numbers to swing back the other way. They go 20 of 42 from 3. The Jazz go 9 of 39. So Charlotte has 60 points behind the arc, and the Jazz have 27. That probably is the most important issue of the night, frankly, is just the discrepancy in three-point shooting tonight. But there was also an element where it just felt like the Jazz didn't do what they need to do to find shooters, particularly late in this game.
Yeah, anytime the draw and kick is in play because of your opponents really protecting the paint, you should get more three-point shots. And a little more ball movement will get you that. But, Jazz just didn't, they just having problems getting to that point.
So let's go to fourth quarter offense for a second and go back to that. Lowry in the fourth quarter ends up going 1 of 5. The early comment from Kristen and Jake on our postgame show where he didn't get the ball enough. Jordan Clarkson,
he played the whole fourth quarter.
And Jordan Clarkson plays the entire fourth quarter, goes 1 of 4 with 3 turnovers. He had an ugly fourth quarter. Let's just not hide it. Yeah. 5 shots is a lot in a quarter. 3 of them were threes. Could they do more to get Lowry the ball more? What could have they done more of in that fourth quarter offensively?
Okay, let's go back to some of the comments that Steve made about the Jazz getting uncontested or flat. What did he call
them? Spot up threes.
Spot up threes. And so it looked like they was trying to take that away because once they were driving to the basket, it seemed like they were trying to stay home on Lowry to the point where he can't, get those spot up threes. And so that was an emphasis that they were trying to take away from the Jazz, and for the most part, they probably did.
How can you clog the middle and take that space at the same and take spot up threes at the same time?
This is what you have. You got a guy driving to from the right side to the middle of the floor.
Yeah,
you stay home on that weak side. If you're looking at the left corner, you stay home on that side. Now, in order to find a 3-point shooter, you got to either look back to the middle of the floor or turn and find something on the opposite side of the floor. If you understand what I mean. So if they do that, you remember that. I think it was Miller. No, it was Martin.
Yeah.
That almost came in with a couple of steals because the Jazz were trying to make that pass. And he was very upset with himself when he didn't come out with it. So you stay home on that side when you're driving to the middle of the floor.
The exciting part of the game for the Jazz was the third quarter. Taylor Hendricks had 12 points. Keyonte George had 10. Bryce Sensabaugh hit the 3 to end the quarter. Sensabaugh was in the rotation tonight instead of Talen Horton-Tucker, as we see the Jazz using these final 26 games to find out more and more about their guys. What did you see from the youngsters?
I saw confidence again. I know I keep harping on that, but confidence is going to be everything with these guys, and getting playing time, learning how to play at this level is going forward. It's going to be very important, and it looks like they're going to give these 3 guys every opportunity to be just that. Keyonte probably had more opportunities than the other 2 in Sensabaugh and Hendricks, but he is developed a lot quicker. So these guys will, those two guys, Sensabaugh and Hendricks, will get their opportunities now.
Let's zero in on Taylor. He was a bit feckless early in the game. His first half had no points, was unimpactful, was just out there. And then he goes and gets 2 offensive rebound putbacks in the second half. Do you think he learned a little bit about how to kind of create? Don't wait for the game to come to you. Go take the game a little bit.
It's a great way of putting it, David. Don't wait for it to come to you. Just think that you're going to get the open shots and you're going to make them on the offensive end of the floor. You got to find ways to impact the ball game. And I'm sure that's what Will it wants out of him. I mean, if he's just going to stand around and wait to shoot the three or wait to shoot, very seldom does he get the ball where he can take a player off the dribble. But the key there is finding ways to impact the game, finding ways to get yourself going, and offensive rebounds, getting putbacks, that type of thing can get a guy great opportunities.
And then he hits a three. He is. What have you seen out of him? Just big picture. Like, we're just beginning to get pieces, and we're going to overanalyze the heck out of him. 25 straight games here. And frankly, I thought Jake Scott on our halftime or pregame show made a great point about him early in the year. If he was 6'9", 205 pounds, and fully ready, he's Brandon Miller. He's the number 2 pick of the draft.
Right.
When you're 6'9" and loaded with skills, you're the 9th pick of the draft. And when you're 6'9" and plotting, you're like the 17th pick of the draft. But you're 6'9". There just aren't a lot of guys that are 6'9" in this league that are available to be had. So that have this length. So what have you seen out of just his natural skill level?
What I see that he doesn't have right now is the game that Will is trying to get Laurie to do. And that's playing off the dribble, pull up jump shots. And we're talking about the offensive end. No, defense, that's something different. That type of a game, because he's waiting for a 3-point shot or a shot that off the draw and kick or something like that, David. But if you notice, most of his shots hit the front of the rim. Now, that's something that the developmental coaches are going to have to work with him on. Maybe his release needs to be a little bit higher. Maybe that develops a little higher arch and a little softer shot there as well. Those are things that he has to work on. But the one thing that I'd probably like to see is him play off the dribble a little bit more.
He's going to have to learn that dribble skill, but boy, you can see it. He goes up above for rebounds.
Yes.
He can run. That offensive that he discovered tonight, that offensive rebounding is going to be a real weapon for him. You can see all of it, and now he's going to get extended time tonight. He did not play in the fourth quarter, but he finished tonight with 25 minutes. And if he's in the starting lineup now, and the Jazz started him with John Collins tonight. We'll see what the Jazz do in regards to who starts at center with Collins and Walker moving forward, night in and night out. If it's just John Collins, Walker did not have a good game tonight, coming off the bench.
Well, they will be very impressed with Taylor's rebounding. I mean,
Yep.
he had 9 rebounds and 4 of those coming on the offensive glass. And so they're very, very impressed with that. We've seen him fly around and come up with deflections or rebounds. So I don't think they're worried about him as far as rebounding the basketball. That it's going to be the other things that they're going to keep working on him.
Lowry had a career-high 6 assists tonight, which is worth mentioning. The key to this game, though, if you just go back through the fourth quarter, there's just a bunch of sequences where, frankly, the Hornets bang down shots. There's an offensive rebound kick out to Grant Williams. He hits a 3. There's the Jazz missed something on one end. I don't remember exactly what it was, but Bridges comes down, hits a 3, and then the Jazz miss another kind of a big play on a fast break, and they don't convert. And on the other side, they hit a 3. And the Jazz kind of huffed and they puffed. They had the lead there for a little bit. They just, on the multiple times they had a chance to kind of break through, they were just incapable of getting kind of the big bucket when they needed to, or the big stop when they needed to.
Well, the offense will come, I think, to the point where they can stay in ball games. Finishing is going to be the big problem. Playing young guys like they're playing, finishing ball games is going to be probably a big problem. Now, the main focus of this team is getting better defensively. Did not see a zone tonight. We saw man-to-man throughout the basketball game. They were forcing players to the left. There was a couple of times that forcing to the left, and the offensive player got all the way to the basket. I'm sorry. And, got a layup. But they were trying to follow the script on, what to do. But
cool moment. Tyrone Corbin just came out on the floor to see Carlos Boozer, who's got some baby in his arms. I don't know if it's his or
grandchildren.
I think it would be his. His son is one of the hot prospects in high school basketball this year. So in a rising star as they honor. And then Andre Karolinko and his family are at midcourt right now. Darren Williams to Andre Karolinko's right. And their son Fedor here tonight as well. So we see all of them. And then Memo was here with his kids. And I don't see them out on the floor right now, but they're somewhere around. Oh, there's Memo. Now Memo's out there. He's talking to Fedora a little bit. So good to see all those guys out here tonight. Fun night to be celebrating the 2000th as the Hornets actually get their first win here since 2006.
16 straight losses.
Yes, against the Jazz. So it's been quite a while as everyone takes a moment and celebrates on the floor with the past that was Jazz basketball. All right, great. That is, I think, our last and final decade night, I would assume. I don't think we have a 2010s coming up. Maybe we do, but tip of the hat to the Jazz organization for doing a marvelous job with those this year. It's been a great deal of fun and another success. All right, stars tonight, Ron Boone.
I think we should go with the young guys.
Keyonte and Taylor?
Absolutely. That third quarter was just simply awesome.
All right, Jazz stars tonight, Keyonte George, Taylor Hendricks. We're back Sunday night. Victor Wembanyama makes his debut.
He's only about 7'4".
He's something else.
Athletic.
If you've never seen him, come buy tickets.
Leads the league and block shots at 3 a game.
That's right. He's pretty good. We'll see him for the first time in Salt Lake City on Sunday. Hope you're great. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll have Locked on Jazz for you tomorrow. In the meantime, we now send you the first ever 24/7 national sports channel, Locked on Sports Today. It's available on YouTube as well as on Amazon Fire TV. Locked on Sports Today.